You like the hair? That's nice. Geri is the only Spice Girl still working in the music industry. Unless you count Scary, who's behind the counter in HMV at the moment. Just a joke, just a joke. And we've got fantastic music from you, fantastic live music on the show. Geri Halliwell. Give me some gasoline. Tell me what you want, know what I mean. Scream if you wanna go faster. Scream if you wanna go faster. Lovely Geri Halliwell. Well, how nice to have you on the show. Thank you for coming on the programme.
Thank you.
You do look fabulous this evening.
Thank you very much.
Well done. Thank you for making the effort.
Wow, it's my pleasure.
How long does the hair take to get coiffed like that?
I just woke up like it.
Well, I would like to think that's the case. What's happening? Who are you seeing? Where are you living? How many pets have you got? How's the career going? Are you here most of the time? In LA most of the time? What do you think of the weather? Any special plans for Halloween?
We've got a lot of catching up to do, haven't we?
Well, we have.
We have, a lot.
Well, no.
Oh, I just heard you say I was the last Spice Girl, well, the only Spice Girl you've never had on this show.
That's true. You've never been on this programme.
Yeah.
But now you're here.
I'm very delighted.
Do you like talking about the Spice Girls, or do you get bored?
It depends what context it is. Do you know what I mean? If it's kind of, if it's a bit kind of people after gossip, then it kind of gets on my nerves. But you know, I love them. So.
Yeah. Well, I think we all kind of know what happened. Everyone knows really what was going on. It's not like there's any surprises there.
Yeah.
You didn't get on with Scary. You guys were out. You left. You're doing okay. They're all doing okay. It all seems fine.
Yeah, it's all fine.
Okay. But you only keep really in touch with Victoria, don't you?
That's right.
Okay.
You got a beautiful picture of her backstage.
She was very nice. I had her on the show. I think she's a very lovely woman.
She's lovely. She's funny.
What are you doing, though, in terms of, as a band? Would you ever get back together? Would you perform again? Because I'll be honest with you, I miss the Spice Girls. I preferred the Spice Girls to anything that any of you guys have done as solo since then. It was some great pop music.
It was, and I feel really proud of what we did, but I kind of think that everything has its time. Part of me is kind of a little bit afraid to go back to it because I think it would never be as good as it was.
It wouldn't be the same, certainly.
No, it wouldn't. I think, you know, nobody's the same anymore, and part of it is because it was fun, we were young, and, you know, I've moved on, and once you become a solo artist, you know, I've learned to be a solo artist, and I don't think I could cope with 4 other people. You
wouldn't want to have them sharing the stage with you?
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't find them because you want to run around a bit more?
Yeah, exactly. I want to freestyle. I don't want to have to, you know...
Have what? Have other people freestyling?
No, when you're in a band, you've got to conform a little bit.
You coordinate?
A little bit more, which I've learned to do, I have to say. It's a bit like being married.
I suppose so. You have to make compromises.
Compromises, but it's, you know, it's tricky.
But if, I suppose, if the demand was great enough, or if you just felt the time was right...
I'd like to say never. I never say never.
Right.
But at the moment, no. Not at the moment. I like my life the way it is.
But you're doing very well. You're I think, the most successful in terms of a solo career after the band, aren't you?
I'm proud to say that I'm the only one that's got the original record contract, which in this day and age, you know how fickle this industry is.
Yeah.
So having still my record deal, I'm so proud of that.
The same deal that you signed from the minute you went solo.
Same deal, they've still got me. It's a great relationship I have with them, and, you know, I still have a career. I'm on my 3rd solo album, which is amazing.
But now, don't take this the wrong way, but I would have thought, people probably thought that you weren't the most likely to succeed on your own.
Don't you just love that?
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
I mean, you've had it again, you know, your career's gone da-da-da-da.
Yeah, I've been up and I've been down.
And you've been over and out.
Yeah. But now I'm huge.
Yeah.
My wife had a question that she wanted me to ask you.
Okay.
She was talking about your size, right? I think most of us are interested in each other's physique, in our shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
Women, in particular, are very interested in other women's shapes. I think that's a fair enough point. And she was curious because you've got curvy again now. You're by no means big. You're a tiny slip of a girl.
Yeah.
But a couple of years ago, you were very, very thin.
Yeah.
Before that, you were a bit plumper.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, what she was curious to know was back then, when you were kind of plump, the way magazines featured you, you were sort of seen as sexy, but almost in a camp way. Okay. And then it was only when you got really thin, to the point where people were kind of worried about it, well, that the magazine started saying, "Yeah, look at sexy Geri," and started using you in that way, in a sort of straightforward way. You were presumably conforming to their image there. So how do you feel about it now that you've put the weight back on? Do you feel like you are still a sexy person? Do you feel like you're being judged to be not sexy? Is it not an issue with you anymore?
To be honest, I've really tried not to. I think we all go through different stages in life, and I really appreciate that question because I think there's so many women and men out there that go through that struggle, you know, of kind of find themselves, of feeling comfortable. And for me, it's been a journey of just feeling comfortable in my own skin and accepting exactly my shape and my size. You know, and I tried that whole, you know, really being controlling and exercise. And that was fine for what it was. And for me, I really am not interested whether, you know, what the image is for, you know, in magazines anymore, because I've just got to accept myself as I am.
But you're sort of selling yourself to an extent, aren't you? The way you look is an important part of the package when people buy your...
I think, you know, I've got to be... Honestly, obviously what I do, the wrapping paper counts, but I actually vowed to myself I've never dieted for a video, you know, in the last... I just don't...
But what about when you got that skinny? Because, look, have a look at a picture of you there. You're really... There's nothing of you there as well. There's not an ounce of fat on you, OK?
Yeah, I mean, I was really heavily working out. I was living in Los Angeles. It's very much the part of...
You must have been dieting as well.
No, well, it depends what you call dieting. I was just very rigid with my eating, like 3 meals a day, a lot of cardiovascular, you know, really kind of vigilant with that. And now I'm just kind of eased off. It's just not important to me anymore.
You do look, I think, a lot happier now, and I think most people would find you...
You just let go a little bit, and you just think it's just not the most important thing to me anymore.
Now, did you used to binge eat, didn't you?
A long time ago, yeah, I was a bulimic.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah, I know
now,
that
bulimic
you've done...
is... eating and throwing up.
Yeah, okay. I know that you had a little...
What?
I've heard you talk about it too. I think we're kind of alike.
I'm not bulimic. Look at the size of me. I've never been bulimic. I was 50.5 stone once.
You're forgetting to throw up.
Yeah, but no, I love her. I did binge eat, and I still binge eat sometimes.
That's okay.
Today I had 7 donuts.
Did you?
Yeah. I have some in my room.
Do you? That's okay. As long as you feel okay with it, that's
I know it's okay. I'm not seeking your approval. I'm offering you a donut. You've gone to LA on us, haven't you? That's
no,
okay.
I haven't.
It's okay. I bet you have a bit. Do you read self-help books?
Do you know what? I thrown them all away. I don't. You know, I used to do all of that. Now I just think, you know, whatever. It's just not important.
But did they help you?
I actually one book called "Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway." I read.
Hold it. What's that title?
Feel the fear and do it anyway.
See, that's such a bullshit title already, isn't it?
Hold on a minute, because I have to say, having said that, I read that book and I left the Spice Girls.
Well, that's good.
it did...
So that was facing up to challenges?
Yeah, absolutely. Most of the time, I think we all get frightened, don't we?
Yeah.
You can feel it, but you just got to go for it sometimes, regardless of the result. You go with the guts.
That was a bold thing to do, and it paid off for you?
Yeah.
OK, did you read the one, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From...
No.
OK. You read that one, The Road Less Travelled, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Because you mentioned that in the first of your 2 autobiographies.
You read it?
Not really, no, but I've had a quick browse through it, and I quite enjoyed it. But how come you've got 2 autobiographies out? You're, what, 30, 32, something like that?
Do you know, I think they're not autobiographies. I think they're more like kind of... Do you remember, like, Adrian Mole or Bridget Jones?
Yeah.
I think they're more like that.
Works of fiction?
No. Kind of, just diaries.
Do you worry? Here's what I want to know then.
Yeah.
I would imagine, because I don't really know what your life is like, and it's a strange life, because you are a very wealthy young woman. You're internationally famous, aren't you? You know, you go all over the world, people will know who you are. When you meet a guy, there must be something where you have to think first, OK, is he interested in me for me, or is he interested in me because he knows I've got money, or that I'm famous, that he could sell his story? They must be considerations you have to factor in.
They are considerations, but actually, I think it's one of those things that I have to trust. Because otherwise, I don't want to live my life in a box just in case that person turns out to be... It's like we all enter relationships. I'm sure whether you've had your heart broken, you think, I'm never going to go in again. Yeah. And I think as I've got older, I've trust my instinct a little bit more. And after a while, when you're with someone, whether they're good-looking, famous, rich, and it's just you and another person in a room, it doesn't mean anything.
That's all gone.
It's all gone, and I'm interested in the man himself, and I can tell whether they're interested in me. Because after that, you know, it really doesn't matter.
So do friends try and fix you up with people? Does it happen that way? Because that would be, I would have thought, the safest way.
Yeah, I've dated a lot. Yeah. And they do fix me. I fix up a lot of people.
It must be tricky going on a date, because I can't imagine being a regular guy going on a date with Geri Halliwell, because you know, you've got to be a fairly strong character to go out with someone who carries...
You've got to have some balls, I have to say.
Yeah. And everything that goes with that set,
I like a real man, a real alpha male.
Like me?
Yeah, you're an alpha male.
I'm not available, though.
I know.
But I could ask my wife whether she can give me dispensation on my birthday.
No. Your wife seems really cool.
She's hot, but it's not what you're looking for. You're looking for someone to be with, aren't you?
I think we all are. I think we were designed to be with, you know, the perfect, you know, the mate or whatever.
So do you live over here now or in Los Angeles?
I'm here.
You're here, because here I think you've got a much better chance of finding someone, because LA...
I absolutely agree that I've dated, you know, met a lot of great guys.
They're the worst men in the world in LA.
They're kind of, you know, LA is a fantastic place. You like LA?
I love LA. I'm not knocking LA, but I know the men I've met out there, you know, they are some of them.
I don't want someone staring at their six-pack more, or looking at themselves more than looking at me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Self-obsessed.
Well, it's kind of it's that industry that's breeding,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of thing. They're doing what they're doing, which is fair enough. But you know, I love Britain and I love British, you know, culture. As much as I'm, you know, I'm half Spanish, but I like the standards here. I love the countryside.
Well, you've lived here all your life, more or less.
Yeah, yeah.
Geri has you got a new single out. You got an album coming out soon.
Yeah, I've just finished the album. It's out next year, and the single's out.
Now, this is your third solo album, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. You don't have a name for the album yet, do you?
I do, but it's a secret.
Why is it a secret?
Because I want to save it.
What did you save it for? What?
When it's here and you go, ta-da!
Well,
it's not ready yet. It's
but
like,
people could tell you now that you could tell us the name of the album.
No, just for one thing at a time.
How about you call the album Old Ginge? Old Ginge is back.
Like it, like it.
Gingivitis. All right, so you've got a single out. Now, what's this single called?
It's called Ride It.
What would that be about, by any chance?
There's two ways you can approach it.
No, there's one bloody way you can look at it.
It's a metaphor for sex.
There's no... Yeah, of course it is, Ride It. But what else? What's the other thing you think it's about?
It's kind of going with the flow, and also it's... I wrote these lyrics, they're all kind of... The lyrics about pop culture.
Yeah.
You know.
So you write all your own material?
That's one thing that if I could say is that everyone always presumes that I, you know, don't write. From day one, the Spice Girls, I've written all of my own lyrics.
But can I just clarify? Do you write you write your own stuff, or because I'd heard that a lot of people who go on for solo careers and they've got a name, so they're given a contract because they think, well, the name's going to sell records anyway. What I'd heard was, I don't know if it's true, is that the songs are largely written by other people, and then the other person would be given a small credit for changing 3 words in it.
Do you know what? That does happen. In my experience, that does happen. And I've written with people where you just kind of, you're in a room and, you know, just out of kind of politeness, you kind of give people percentages.
So you say, yeah, you helped out a little bit.
Because it's a vibe in a room, and I never go, oh, you wrote that. I don't think that's great. However, I mean, there's all different ways of writing. I've gone in from scratch, just with a melody and lyrics. Stop. That I wrote that in the bed on a dictaphone, walk in and say, hey, I want this to be a Motown track. Go, stop right now. And I say it to producer and they go, da-da-da-da. Yes. Or sometimes it happens with the track. This track that's been given to me was a track, these Swedish guys, they had the melody, you know, a bit of a lyric, and I went, okay, we can make it better if we do this, bring the tango up and change all the lyrics.
You've got quite a good voice.
Thank you very much.
You sang a little bit then, but you don't really sing live, do you, on TV? You normally...
Do you know what? I do now, because I had nodules. And I quit smoking a year ago, so now I can sing live. But I was always losing my voice. It was just a pain in the arse.
You took singing lessons this year, didn't you?
I've always kind of done it a little bit, but I've just really gone for it. Because, you know, if I'm going to be an artist, a serious artist, and stand, you know, as a live performer, I thought I've got to, you know...
But not being funny, but why didn't you take singing lessons before you joined the Spice Girls? You know, it's like, this is why I did.
Get into my groove in time with my body instead.
It's been really nice to meet you this evening.
Thank you.
You look really well. You know, I hope things play out the way you want them to, because I know
So
you know, you've had a kind of slightly, I think, a fairly rough time for a couple of years, and
Yeah, it goes up, it goes down. It's like life, isn't it?
yeah. Do you now, presumably, you don't read what's in the papers? You don't.
I don't bother. People come up to me and say, "Oh, did you?" I just think, whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
You do look spectacular. I bet you get a lot more action when you're curvy, don't you?
I have to say, I get a little bit more attention, which is kind of nice. You know, it's funny. Yeah. It's nice to share that with other women out there. You know,
because you've got a bit of an arse on you now. When you haven't got, then, you know, it looks like it's the fertility symbol.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm hoping you'll shake it as you walk off. Will you join me in saying thank you to the lovely Geri Halliwell, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you, Geri. That was lovely.
Mwah, mwah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Relax.